Shedeur Sanders makes tough admission on relationship with father Deion Sanders after throwing Shiloh under the bus. Deion Sanders was perhaps the busiest man on earth a few weeks back. From inquiring about team culture and coach's history, he did all to give a clean shit to his sons, Shiloh and Shadeur's NFL future. The Colorado Buffs head coach has never coached a team where he hasn't had his sons by his side. From Jackson State to Colorado, he is quite accustomed to being the coach dad. It came with a lot of qualms and flaws. But Deion didn't care. The father-son love transcended all. But after they got their ticket to the pro, did the equation divert a bit? Shedeur Sanders faced tough luck throughout the entire draft process. He had to wait till the 5th round with a face riddled with worries and concerns before the Cleveland Browns finally made their call. While Shiloh getting undrafted and ending up as a free agent in a contract with the Buccaneers still makes some sense, Shedeur, the highly anticipated first-round pick, waiting for his turn for an eternity, was a shocker. Maybe it's a negative aftermath of how he offended the NFL scouts during the combine interview, being a little too straightforward, withholding the throw. It can be a regular sporting misfire, either, but no matter what the reason is, Shiloh's draft journey was a heck of a ride. Yet, the destination seems to be a promising one only if he can stand out in the rookie camp. With Shedeur Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco all looking to impress coach Kevin Stefanski and offseason Tommy Rees during OTAs, the battle is going to be intense for Sanders. So, he is busy grinding himself in the training room, maybe, but not getting the time to even talk to your dad? Weird. Sometimes I haven't really been talking to anybody bro like for real. Shedeur took a minute before spilling it out when Darius Sanders asked him if he talked with Deion since his new endeavor kicked in. Certainly, Shedeur didn't take a lot of pride in it. Not being able to manage your time to give to your family, especially the dad who has been the architect of your entire life and career, is a low-key shame. Shedeur approved that and said, "That's not cool. You know, it's not. That's not cool. But I've been at the facility all day, and when it's time for me to get home, I'm ready to lay down, go over my plays, and study my plays, and lay down. So, I talk to everybody like every other day." I mean, sure, it's not an ideal family frame that the fans hold in their minds about the big, fat Sanders family. Of course, they have their fairy tale gateways, fun dinners, inside jokes, and all. But if it's for Shedeur winning his starting job at the Browns, it's worth the odds. But that's not just it. Shedeur, even when not drenched with his professional responsibilities, doesn't really like to keep his family close to his eyes all the time. Shedeur Sanders gets brutally honest about Shiloh Sanders. The Sanders hold a familial legacy. Be it Shiloh and Shedeur sharing the same jersey over the years, or their dad training and building their prowess, they have given countless iconic homecoming moments in the core sporting atmosphere at the Colorado locker room and field. Even their off-screen banter catches the fans off guard, leaving them with whether they are a real-life family with all the everyday feuds and conflicts or one straight out of any utopian novel plot. Recently, Deion Sanders Jr. dedicated his latest drop, No Sympathy, to his brother's struggle with hatred. The song lyrics perfectly slam the trolls and haters with some Chad lines. But amidst all that love and support, they all take their alone time seriously to recharge and reboot before connecting with each other again, stronger than before. When Darius asked Shedeur about his favorite recharge time and place that looks like happiness, the younger Sanders came clean. "It'll sound like classical music for sure. I wouldn't say who would be there. It would be just a view. You can't say who would be there because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes family they be make you mad bro." Shedeur got brutally honest with his stance. But for Shiloh, particularly, he has a reason to avoid. Sometimes that can mess up your moment, bro. So, it'll be a view when Shiloh. "Having gum wrappers and stuff in my car, GG, he's got to go." However, we will see how Sanders will get along more and more in the future, setting a legacy on and off the field. Deion Sanders and Andy Reid get props from HBCU coach for major career move as $512 million plan with Michael Vick revealed. It ain't every day a legendary speedster with NFL roots and a whole city in his rearview mirror decides to pull a Deion Sanders and jump into the HBCU trenches. Nah, this one had that coaching call on ignore for a minute. Straight up declined it. Said he was chillin', coaching high school ball, and loving it. But after a couple phone calls from two football titans, one with a gold jacket, the other with a Super Bowl ring and a walrus mustache. He changed his whole outlook. Now he's got the keys to a struggling college football program and is already drawing up a $512 million power move with Michael Vick. You probably know DeSean Jackson as that wideout who made defenders look silly for 15 seasons in the NFL, but what you might not know is how close he was to never stepping into the college coaching world. I know how much time my coaches spend in the facility, and I just know how much goes in and out of being a head coach. So, for me, when it first came up, I definitely wasn't interested in it. Jackson told Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show. I was actually coaching high school football, and I was having a good time doing it. Fair enough. But it only took 3 conversations to flip the script. And here's the kicker. Jackson never needed this job. He was chilling in California, coaching Woodrow Wilson High to the CIF Southern Section title game. Before Delaware State HC call, DeSean Jackson was coasting in the high school scene, stacking wins, and turning heads with his squad at Woodrow Wilson Classical. After flipping a 4-6 team into a 9-5 playoff threat with 411 points scored, he was living the good life. On that third call, Jackson said something clicked. He spoke to Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, the godfather of the HBCU Renaissance. He dialed up Andy Reid, the OG who drafted him back in 2009. And between the two of them, they convinced him to take the leap. Deion was one of them. Coach Reid, a few of my old coaches, and it kind of started sinking in. I'm like, yeah, I might not want to pass this opportunity up. Let's be real, Deion been mentoring Jackson since he was torching fools as a high school phenom in Cali. Deion's always been a big influence to me. Going back to when I was in HS, he used to reach out to me. He's a special dude, man, Jackson said. And Andy Reid, he gave D-Jax the keys to the league back in Philly. So when both legends told him to step up, Jackson listened. And just like that, Delaware State got a shot of life. But this story isn't just about taking a job. It's about creating a spectacle. And that's where this $512 million bombshell with Michael Vick drops. DeSean Jackson and Michael Vick's $512 million plan. DeSean Jackson didn't walk into Delaware State to just go 5-6 and call it a rebuild. Nah, this man's thinking big. Like Lincoln Financial Field big. The same turf where Jackson shredded defenses and where Michael Vick made his NFL comeback into a movie. That's the dream location for an HBCU showdown that could shake the culture. Jackson let the cat halfway out the bag during his interview with Kay Adams when she asked what game she should pull up to. His answer? Michael Vick. The two are plotting to turn their November 1st matchup into something far bigger than an FCS game. We're trying to get it at the link, Jackson said. I don't know if I was supposed to spill that yet, but we close. We real close. Let's stop and unpack that. Lincoln Financial Field, worth a cool $512 million, is home to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not a venue you just rent for a lil local game. This is primetime real estate. The Eagles' security chief, Big Dom. Yeah, that Big Dom who once got in a sideline scuffle with 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw, is reportedly helping push this to the finish line. It's poetic. 2 Philly legends now leading struggling HBCU programs, Jackson at Delaware State and Vick at Norfolk State, both trying to break the cycle of irrelevance. DSU went 2-21 over the past 2 seasons. NSU hasn't sniffed a conference title in decades. This ain't just about bragging rights. It's about creating a spotlight, a showcase, something that can bring eyes, money, and attention to the HBCU space. The symbolism is heavy. Jackson and Vick aren't just ex-players dabbling in coaching. They were a damn problem together in Philly from 2010 to 2013. Speed, swagger, deep bombs, and touchdowns. Now they want to bring that same juice to programs that have been starving for relevance. And if the game happens at the link, sheesh, that's legacy work. That's ESPN cameras, national attention, maybe even some nil heat flowing into these programs. It turns a regular season matchup into a movement. Michael Vick and D-Jack at the link, Jackson called it, already planting the flag. The HBCU football scene has been starving for these moments. Sure, Deion blew the doors open at Jackson State. But what if his blueprint isn't a one and done? What if this Eagles reunion sparks the next wave? These two aren't looking for moral victories. They want SportsCenter highlights, sold-out crowds, and to rewrite the script for FCS football. Now with Vick in lockstep, they're building something wild. Not just a football game. Not just a nostalgic throwback. This could be the single most culturally relevant college football game outside the CFP. You telling me folks wouldn't tune in to watch Michael Vick and DeSean Jackson go head-to-head at the link as HBCU coaches? What even? From the shadows of irrelevance to the bright lights of Philly, these two are giving their programs a shot at the main stage. And they're doing it their way. Fast, flashy, and unapologetically bold. If they pull this off, man, that's bigger than football. That's a culture shift.